Hi, my name is Chris Cinque, and I'm here to talk to you about my current exhibit at Forming Content Gallery in the North Loop in Minneapolis. First of all, I want to thank the other gallery members, especially Marty Nash, Ellie Kingsbury, Patricia Olson, Joyce Lyon, and Kristen Lowe. So the name of this exhibit is Picnic in the Apocalypse, and it runs until September 11th. First, I want to talk about the title. I think apocalypse is self-explanatory, given the times that we're living in. The picnic part, maybe not so much. But, you know, I try to think about what this time has meant to me and maybe to us, even as a species, since we seem to be on the brink of extinction. You know, are we going to learn from our mistakes? Are we going to try to fix things? Are we going to make life better? I think we can. I don't think it's too late. And I know there is a lot of apocalyptic thinking, and I've certainly been guilty of that myself. But as my friend Stephanie says, I do have relentless hope. And I find solace through work. I think work is a great way to center and to feel connected and to give back and to participate in life. So the apocalypse part of the title, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. I started this piece that you see in 2020, and it was when we were just in the grip of fire and tyranny and plague and murder and injustice, and it's all very horrific and all very ordinary. The fact is that none of these things are new. It's where we seem to live in terms of living in patriarchy, with all the imbalance that implies. And so I made this piece as a meditation on those particular issues. I haven't worked in this figurative collage style in a while. I started out that way, and then I've gone more to non-objective work. But I just felt the need to really use vibrant images to try to make sense of and to maybe organize some way in which I've been thinking about these issues. So this particular collage was on my front porch and it's like 48 by 40. It was on my front porch with a couple of other pieces from winter solstice of 2020 until the inauguration. So it was up there for a good month, and people would come through the snow and in the cold and stand on the porch and leave notes. Because of COVID, we weren't allowed, and I'd sometimes talk through the glass to people who were visiting. And it was really a really good experience for me to do that, and to feel connected to other people through my work and as a neighbor and friend. And after I took that show down, I didn't feel finished, because then we had the insurrection. We had this enormous threat to our democracy. We had just the uncertainty of whether we were going to survive what was going on. I felt compelled to make 5 more collages. None of them are this large, but they all are figurative, and they're all part of this theme of apocalypse and how to survive it. So the picnic part for me, in doing this work, is that we keep showing up. You know, no matter how hard things are, no matter how much pain we're in, no matter how complicated the world seems, you know, we still do things like get together and eat food together, and we raise families, and we go for walks, and we do our work, and we sleep. And that to me is the essential energy that keeps us moving forward, no matter what, no matter how painful and how challenging things are. And there is that phrase, you know, when we're experiencing something terrible, like, well, that was no picnic. but usually that's said in retrospect and not during the time in which the actual whatever the the chaotic moment is, because all of our energies are focused on solving whatever the problem is at hand. And that drive in and of itself is galvanizing and very positive. Um, and it gives me hope that we can survive. Um, we can survive most things. Um, so this next image is there's two bodies of work in this show. One is the apocalypse collages, which are figurative, and then this other work, which is called Porter Ranzis, and there are 7 or 8 of them in the show as well. And these are to help sort of balance the um, to echo color-wise and mood-wise what's going on in the figurative collages. Um, I'm drawn to simple forms and vibrant color, and also just a whole range of color, but colors that have emotional content, that they allow the emotions to shine through in the color. My work is always about things that can't be expressed in words. Memories that have nearly disappeared, um, things that are just at the back of your mind and you can't quite grasp them. Um, Impressions from childhood. I had a lot of trauma in my early childhood, which I didn't have words for, and as a result, I didn't remember until pretty recently. But they had a huge impact on my life um, on the preverbal level, and so I really trust the intuitive side of us, of who we are as humans, the part that knows things without being able to actually verbalize them. And to me, that's what non-objective work is that it's about non-verbalization, pre-verbalization. Um, uh, Johannes, what is his name? Johannes Eiten said in his book, The Art of Color, that colors have a mystical capacity for spiritual expression without being tied to objects. And to me, that's a great definition of non-objective work, the spiritual component. And that, anyway, it's self-explanatory. And also, he said that the deepest and truest secrets of color are invisible even to the eye and are beheld by the heart alone. I thought that was quite a beautiful phrase. So, so I believe that too. You know, for me, color is where it's at. So these Porter Ranzis pieces are they're done on unstretched canvas. I do drawings before I do them. They're based around, they all have a square as their central image, and then all the other parts of the work are to help balance that square in some way. So they're very physical works. The surface is very lively. They involve a lot of handwork of abrading and scratching and sanding and applying glazes and paint, and they are also collages. So they're as I said, canvas is the substrate, but then they have paper, uh, sometimes colored paper, sometimes translucent, and then over that is applied other media like paints um, of different colors, thin layers, and what else do I use? I don't know, graphite, pastels, oil sticks. And there's while they look organized and put together, there is a roughness to them that is really apparent in person. So one other thing I want to say is about language and how language is sometimes used to validate visual art, that unless you can speak about it and explain it, that it can't be understood. And as I quoted earlier, these different quotes is that work can, if it is understood by the heart, then that's all that you need. So for me, visual work is its own expression, and what the eye sees and what the heart understands is enough. So I think I'm going to stop there. I have a little slideshow I want to show you.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the deep, you have my heart inside, and you played it to the beat. Baby, I have no story to be told, but I've heard one on you, and I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Make a home down there, as mine sure won't be shared. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all.
Thanks very much for listening.